Today's the 12th day of Advent, and our story is Rahab. Rahab is a Canaanite woman who lives in the city of Jericho. So after traveling in the wilderness for years and years, eventually the Israelites do reach the promised land, and they enter it by way of Jericho. Before entering the city, they send in spies to see what the city is like and what its defenses are like and what its army is like. And two of those spies come to live in the home of Rahab, who's an innkeeper in the city, and takes in these spies because she believes that their God is the God. And so Rahab harbors these spies in her home at great risk to herself and her family, so much so that soldiers catch wind that maybe she's doing this and come to her house and demand that she turn over these spies. And she lets them into her home and says, "Look, they're not here. I don't know what you're talking about," because she's hidden them on her roof. And so Rahab enters into God's story in this way, and in the face of fear and danger, stays strong and courageous, and does what she knows needs doing. And so as a result, her family is spared when the Israelites do enter the city, and she becomes entwined in their story, so much so that when Matthew writes his gospel, in the genealogy of Jesus, Rahab is listed as one of Jesus' ancestors, one of very few women named in that ancestry. So Rahab becomes an important part of this story, of this family. And I think one of the things that her story reminds us of is the importance of staying courageous in the face of fear. Sometimes we think that fear is a bad thing and something we should avoid altogether. But I don't know that's necessarily true, because fear often is tied to love, right? We fear losing things that we love. And so to be fearless is, in a sense, to be loveless. And so our goal is not to never be afraid of anything. Or rather, our goal is, even in the face of fear, how do we remain courageous? How do we stay true to what we know we are called to do and the way we are called to be? And I think this is important for us because in our world today, there are all sorts of things that maybe we should be afraid of, but even more things that we're told to be afraid of. We're told to be afraid of people who are different than us, or people who are said to not belong here, or people who have different customs or cultures or religions than us. We're told to be afraid of all sorts of stuff on TV and the radio and in the media everywhere. And if we're not careful, this fear can become a dominating thing in our lives. But we are called to be people who are courageous, even in the face of fear. People who are called to say, I'm not going to let fear of others stop me from the call that God has placed before me, a call of hospitality to people who are different from me, a call of taking care of people who are strangers to me, a call of reaching out to those who are marginalized, of believing victims, of bringing justice to those who are oppressed. These are the things to which we have been called, and we will not let fear stop us from living this out, because this is the call that our God has given us. It's a call that Rahab stayed true to, even in the face of fear, and it's a call that we can live out in our lives today. Remember that you are loved, and God's peace be with you.